Hi, relatives. My name's Ishel, and I'm the founding director of Xi'im Ek Balam. And I'm also the lead teacher for the upcoming coalition that we have, Coyolxauhqui Coalition or Rainbow Coalition. And this is an eco-social acupuncture program that is based upon some of the founding principles of our organization. Most of our coalitions work with the cornerstones of mindfulness, arts-based practices, somatics, and earth-based ways of knowing. And what we're doing in Coyolxauhqui Rainbow Coalition is applying that for the next generation of leaders. Many of us feel that the structures around us are weakening and maybe approaching a point of transition. And what we're doing in building up a new generation of leaders is preparing folks for this transition so that as old structures fall, we will be ready. We will be ready with a cohort of individuals who are ready to lead, and we will be ready with the tools and the resources and the relationships that we need to bring beautiful and effective change to the new world. So, what is eco-social acupuncture? This is a practice that we developed over a number of years that's really based upon the idea that we can be very delicate and efficient with our energy and make systems level dramatic change. So similarly to in acupuncture, the way that you might have illness in one of the organs, you don't put all the organs, all the needles in that organ. You work with the meridian lines and you help open up the energy channels, and you do very delicate touch. You do kind of a minimal amount of needles to open up that energy channel and allow the energy to move back to where it's needed and to circulate within the full system more completely. And that's a core principle of matriarchal leadership and decolonial leadership, is to not effort more, but instead to think about how are we using our energy and how can we be using it more efficiently, more elegantly, and more intentionally to bring about the change that we want in our lives and in our communities. So, over the 6 months that we're in community together, you all are going to build relationships with one another. And those relationships are going to be a key component of what we think about as being one of the great benefits of this program. We've led two other coalitions, the Jaguar Liberation School and the Jaguar Men program. And in this, we see that what is most important beyond what we have to share with what we've learned in the field and beyond the individual exercises is how the culture of the group supports each individual in their own journey. And so that's why assembling this cohort is really important. And we're limiting the size of the program so that we can ensure that we can really care for and accompany each of you on this journey. When you sign up, you will receive access to the teachings, the live teachings that we'll do month by month. We're also going to have an opportunity at the end to share our work publicly. But the additional thing that we're offering in this cohort is you'll get 5 one-on-one meetings with me that are designed around strategy for whatever your project is. So we can work on everything from budgeting to interpersonal problems in the workplace to visioning whatever it is that you're bringing about through the project that it is that you're wanting to share with the world right now. The foundation of the Coyolxauhqui Rainbow Coalition program is really working in the imaginal realm. So when I was an executive director for a number of years and working as a co-director of a nationally recognized art collective, one of the things that I found to be really challenging is that as I sought capacity building for support from coaches and other people who could help me or who I thought could help me in becoming better at what I did at the time, I felt like the information that they gave me was very much coming from the structure that I was already existing within. It was coming from the world that I was already existing in. And it wasn't coming from the cosmology or the structures of the worlds that I wanted to build. And that's where the imagination comes in. And so when we were working also with US Mexico border communities and mixed indigenous communities in Brownsville, Texas. One of the things we did was start with the art for community planning, and that was great. But it also ended up being very verbally based. And so, what we're doing, and what I've learned from the work of a number of years of doing community development planning, strategic planning with a number of different people from cultures as far south as Ecuador and as far north as the US Mexico border, is that when we do planning and visioning in a way that's dominated by the verbal, it is very challenging for us to address the underlying trauma that might be creating a subconscious block for our actual dreams. And so, what that results in is a bunch of plans that look great, they're complete, but no one wants to do them and they gather dust. And that's what we don't need right now, is more great ideas that no one wants to implement. Instead, what we want to do is understand what are the needs and desires and hopes of the subconscious so that we can bring them into the foreground, collaborate with them, understand how to work with those energies that are already existing, understand what is, and then build an intentional vision for the future. And that's why we start with the art, we start with the imaginal, and we start with the mindful and trance work. So in this coalition, you're going to learn how to work in more traditional and ancestral ways. These are ways that many communities, many First Nations people have been working in for centuries. And we're taking that wisdom that is within all of our ancestral codes and bringing it to our everyday challenges. So instead of thinking about how to use the brain to problem solve what we should be doing next, or what our budget should look like, or what our strategic plan is for the next 6 months, we're going to be relying on the dream state, and we're going to be relying on the creative practices and the somatic knowing and the ancestral guidance. And then from there, we're going to integrate the expertise of the brain in making those things happen. So we're going to have a live Q&A on May 15th, and I'd love to have you there. If you can't make it live, but you're interested, please do sign up, because you'll still get a copy of the video recording from the event. And you're also welcome to just set up a one-on-one with me. And I'd love to chat, to get to know you more, to understand what's going on in your life, and to see if this program might be a good fit for you. So thank you so much for taking this time to get to know us a little bit more. I hope this video leaves you in a more beautiful and joyful place than where we found you. And we're looking forward to getting to know you more and understanding the beautiful leadership work and beautiful medicine and magic that you're bringing to the world. Till soon.